You Are a Happy Being, posted on November 13, 2011. When the cloud of negativity fades away, it becomes very apparent that the being that you are and always have been is a happy being. There are no exceptions to this fact. Every being is essentially a happy being at the core, and all the negativity is basically created from the unconscious identification to fear-based thoughts of the mind. It's evident that all living beings just want to be happy because happiness is what feels like home, since that's who we are in our natural vibration. But most of us keep searching for happiness outside us, which not only eludes us from seeing that happiness is our internal nature, but also keeps us in a cycle of craving, neediness, and insecurity because we place our happiness in other people's hands or associate it with the attainment of some material possession. Enjoy the physical world, but recognize that happiness is who you are. It's not somewhere out there. Discarding layers of negativity to see the true self. As awareness starts making its way through your human consciousness, it moves through several layers of negativity before it finally comes home to the core, and the core is always found to be a happy being. It can take you a few months or a few years to reach this core, depending on how willing you are to let go of these layers of negativity. But anyone who has seen their core would know with certainty that the being that we are has happiness as its natural vibration. They would also realize just how sensitive our being is, which is the reason why it can identify with fears and negativity so easily. Some beings are born with a very light load of negativity, and hence they get in touch with their core nature easily and become expressions of lightheartedness and joy. Moreover, some of the attributes in their brain or their physical appearance can help them develop a positive image of themselves through the acceptance and appreciation they get from the society at an early age. This ensures that they don't build any layers of negativity on top of their core being, and thus they stay in touch with their nature of happiness in an unconscious way. However, it's also possible for such beings to become conceited, arrogant, or obnoxious, lost in their superiority complex, and develop some negative patterns of thought based on hatred or discrimination, which creates layers of negativity on top of their core being. Some beings are born with a huge load of negativity, usually coming from a highly worried mother, into an environment that further accentuates their negative energy. Plus, their physical appearance or certain mental abilities may get them derision or criticism from their surroundings, causing them to develop a negative self-image of themselves, which is the most toxic negativity the mind can develop. This thick layer of negativity can prevent the recognition of their core being, and these people may end up living a life of disconnection. The cloud of negativity in the mind becomes so thick that they have very little access to their core unless they awaken to it. Sense your core being. If you've never had a glimpse of this core being in you, it will be quite a surprising revelation to you when you sense your presence as this being, because essentially you are this being below all the layers of false identity. It's amazing how lost we can be in the layers of images and identities that we need to make a journey back to know ourselves. The core being is not some exalted godly figure, as the mind imagines, but rather an innocently happy being who is actually very sensitive. This sensitivity is the reason why it's easy for this being to identify with fear-based thoughts and criticism of the mind. Even arrogance is essentially a form of fear at its depth. Don't try to create any images in your mind about what this core being looks like or feels like. It's who you are, and you can have an actual experience of yourself without going into any imaginations. Anyone who sees their core being would know instantly that they've always been this all along. It's just that they got lost in layers of identities created by the mind. When you see yourself as this core being, you will know why it's so easy for us to get identified with fears. You can see how sensitive our being really is, though its essential nature is happiness. This sensitivity is what makes it so innocent. Once you see the core being in yourself, you will be able to see the core being in others with ease, irrespective of the layers of negativity they may be carrying.